Hey, fellow Restopians, welcome back to Restopia. Long time no see. I hope none of you have unsubscribed. Yeah, I'm not particularly trying to get to 1,000, getting monetized and all that stuff, but it's nice to be helpful. What I love about the fact that I bothered to start this channel was that I think I have helped a few people. I've annoyed some people too, apparently. So where are we? So I've been on holiday, hence the €10 note. That's all I brought back. Went to Greece. Fantastic time. Absolutely fantastic week in Greece. Went to Pelagos Bay with my Pelagos, which was quite nice. Didn't take any pictures or do any videos. This is still going to be, one and done, straight to upload, no editing. Here's my little Sony camera that I bought with. I purchased. I was going to get like the proper ones with the, the big lens, similar price. But this has a macro feature, and I thought this would be better for YouTube. I haven't done that yet. I will eventually get into editing, but. Yeah, just wanted to get back to my subscribers, really, because I do, I don't want to leave you hanging. So what did I mention? I mentioned that, so this video is mainly about bracelet sizing. So it's a follow on from the half links are not what they seem. I think that's what it was called video. In that video, I said that I would check out my Grand Seiko, which is here, and I would review that with the new method that had come up. I think I've called it, I have a name for it. It's called supersizing. Because I am absolutely convinced that so many people are walking around with watches that don't have micro adjust, that just don't fit them as well as they can. I am completely convinced of that now. I've gone through my my Grand Seiko, my SG, I thought I'd remember it, SBGH 273. I've revisited this, came up with some very interesting findings from that. I've also got back on the channel the SBGR 307, which I showed, and I've used my supersizing method for both of these, and they came up with some very interesting results, and it kind of backs up what I said about the Tissot. It's all very boring number stuff, but bear with me. When I did that video, it was literally, I thought of it that morning, and I did the video, I did the figures, and I did the video straight away. There was some inaccuracies in that video where I said larger when I meant smaller, or too big when I meant too small, but I'm guessing you kind of worked that out if you watched it. But it is, honestly guys, it is a very important thing. If you have a watch that has part links, you need to get into supersizing your watch, because there are so many people walking around with a part linked watch that, especially if it doesn't have micro adjust, like the Tissot, like Grand Seiko's, bad Grand Seiko, that aren't fitting them. And also, if you do have a watch with micro adjust, with part links, as this Omega does, you want the you want the micro adjust in the middle of that position. You need this watch to fit you as well as it can, so that you've got that micro adjust in the middle of the micro adjust position, so that when your wrist swells or shrinks, you can move it around. You don't want to use that micro adjust to get the watch to fit you. You need to use these part links to get the watch to fit you. Now, I'm going to try and make this not too long and boring a video. The reason I've got the Omega back on the channel, the Ultra Deep, which is an absolutely stunning watch, is that I said that this watch has some movement, has some issues, and they're movement issues. They're setting issues. Now, I stand by that, but people that that own the watch, or maybe just love Omega, have said that I'm flaming Omega. Absolutely no way. I'm just saying it as I see it. So I don't think it detracts from the watch. All I said was that setting this watch is a chore. That's basically it. Setting the Rolex Ultra Deep Sea that I had on the channel is an absolute pleasure. Setting this is a chore in comparison, and I stand by that. Now, Either this particular watch is it's a Friday watch. It's a dog. It is not typical of all the ultra deeps, or it has issues. I mean, there's only two options. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to the AD on tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to have a look at another ultra deep, and I'm going to see if that ultra deep operates in the same way that this one does, and then I'll get back to you. I'm absolutely sure that this ultra deep, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just how ultra deeps are, and setting this is a chore. It's not a deal breaker. I wouldn't not buy this watch because of it. It's just nowhere near as nice as the Rolex Deep Sea, which is an absolute pleasure. Rolex Deep Sea has the trip lock, so you unscrew it, you turn it back, it pops out. It's just an absolute dream of a movement to set. But yeah, I don't want to. Let's just see what happens tomorrow night when I go to the dealer. I'll have a look at another one. I'm going to look at the white face with the blue bezel, which I think is really nice. Hopefully they'll bring out a normal Planet Ocean with that colorway, which would be stunning. But I think this is the one to get if you did get an ultra deep with the gradiated blue dial and the electric blue text and tip to the second hand. But yeah, I'm not a hater, guys. I'm not flaming anything. I'm just saying it as I see it. Right. Speaking of which, because I've noticed we're 6 minutes, nearly 7 minutes in already. So we talked about sizing, and I said I would revisit my Grand Seiko, which is here, and I did. And here's the paperwork from that. It's all screwed up. So I've got two Grand Seikos here. I've got the SBGR 307 on my wrist. Which my wrists, I've been away, as I said, so my wrists are actually quite a bit bigger than normal, I think, because this is, I mean, that's feeling quite tight now. And I've got here my SBGH 273, which I absolutely love. And I applied the method over here to this one. I can't keep saying those numbers. I need a name. This is a Shunbun, I think. This isn't. So this one has 7mm and 10mm links as I've measured them. It's a 7mm part link, 10mm full link. The Shunbun Autumn they're actually slightly. They're kind of 6 and 9 I've gone with. It is a little bit 6-ish. It's not quite 7, but it's a bit more than 6 from my measuring. But the actual numbers don't really make too much difference because, you know, you're basically looking at the variance in between. The formula of supersizing still applies. So let's just go with 6 and 9. So that means that this Shunbun is exactly the same as the Tissot in the previous video. So it has 3mm increments. I'll come back to that because it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting for me how you get to the 3mm reduction in bracelet size. So let's go back to this one. And this one, having 7 and 10mm links, means that your variants are 7, 10, 14, 17, 20, 24, 27, 30, 34, 37, 40, 44. I've done more than, no one's really removing 2 part links and 3 full links. But, you know, so there's a range in there. I think last time I did it between, I think on this one, it'll be between, 7mm off and 30mm off the size of the bracelet. Now, interestingly, you'll notice because 7 doesn't divide into 9, does 6 divide into, anyway, the differences between the possible bracelet sizes, they go 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. So there's a pattern there. But mine, well, this one that's on my wrist is currently set with 7. It's got 1 part link and 1 full link removed, and that's kind of, it's a little bit tight. But I think that's because my wrist is swelled. I think normally that's a bit. Last time I tried this one on, it's a bit loose. But anyway, my wrist is swelled. But it means that I can go to 14mm of reduction. So I can make it, basically I've got a full link and a part link that I've taken out. Yeah, so they're in a box. So if I wanted to make this a bit looser, I think most people would take the add the part link back in. That would make it 10 mil because it would be one full link removed. So I'm at 17. Most people would then, and a shop, if I went into a shop with this and I took the full link and part link that I've taken out, I said, oh, look, shop, my watch is too tight. Oh, what can I do? And I showed them the full link and the part link. Close that. I'm still recording, low battery. I showed them the full link and the part link. They would simply think, oh, that's okay, sir. We'll stick the part link back in for you. And that would make it 10 mil bigger. Whereas I could have it 3 mil bigger, but they're not going to do that. And most people aren't doing that. That's the whole point of this. If you have it written down, you can see what your next option is and you can act accordingly. Because if they think it's a half link, they're just going to add the half link back in. Whereas what they should do is take the full link out and put the part and then put the part link back in. And that gives you 14 mil, which would, I think that would then fit 7 mil on this. So 7 mil in a micro adjust is kind of somewhere between 2 and 3 positions on a micro adjust. Now, if there was micro adjust on this and that was felt like that, I would only need to open it by 1 micro adjust, which is somewhere between 2 and 3 mil, depending on how the watch is made. It's certainly not 7 mil, between 17 and 10. If that would be 2 or 3 micro adjusts, and that would be way too loose. So yeah, my theory, what did I call it? Supersizing is holding up. But let's go back to this one quickly because we're at 12 minutes now. So this is my watch. Let's put this on. And this is actually, I haven't worn this for a while. This is actually now, this is the interesting one. This is actually now tighter than that one. This is too tight for me. I can't wear a watch like that. I had a look in the box for this. I know that there's 1.5 links taken out of this. I had a look in the box. I could only find a half link. And I thought, where's I can't have only taken, I took the half link out of this. It came via the post. So it wasn't done by the shop. It was done by me. And I thought, why have I only got half link in the box? Where's the full link that should be with it? And I thought, I've lost it. And then on the Grand Seiko website, when you look up watches, it tells you the bracelet circumference of the watches. On this one, it's 205 mil. On this one, it's 205 mil. On this one, it's 190 mil. So this actually has less of a wrist circumference maximum than that one does. So I then worked out I haven't lost the full link. I only ever took a part link out. Now that's really interesting because the scenario I said that no one's ever going to need on the Tissot, which is exactly the same as this, I actually do need on this because I now have this Grand Seiko that's too tight for me. I've only got a half link in the box, which is 6 millimeters. If I put that half link back in, and I obviously took it out because the watch was too big for me at the time. If I took that back out, which is 2 micro adjust positions, maybe two and a bit micro adjust positions, if it had micro adjust, it's going to be too big. But what I could do, if I purchase a full link, and I am going to the AD tomorrow, so I might have to say to them, can I buy another full link for this? Because I've now got to do exactly what I said no one will really need to do, which is quite funny. I need to purchase a full link, which is 9 mil, pop that in, take out the other part link, which is 6 mil, and that will mean that this watch will be 3 mil bigger than it is now. I suppose I could just try sticking the 6 mil part link in first just to see if that works, because that would save me buying a link. But you can kind of see why this system just works much better than just looking at them as full and part links. And when you look at these watches, where are we going? I mean, to me, look, to the naked eye, let's get it up close. That looks about half. I've asked people, I said, how different in size do you think that is to that? And people have said, oh, it's half the size. But it's not. It's 7 mil. That's 10 mil. That's almost 3/4 of the size of that, So it really is something that you guys need to take on board there's loads of people out there that are walking around with watches that that are not fitting them as well as they could. You know, I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to ask how much a full link to purchase a full link for this is, but it's you know, it's just another nail in Grand Seiko's coffin. I like Grand Seiko, but you know, I bought this watch. It cost me £5, and the bloody thing doesn't fit me. Excuse my French. Excuse my Marine Nationale. It doesn't fit me. To get this to fit me, I've got to buy another link. Now, that should really never happen. You know, I don't know why this is 15 mil smaller wrist circumference. I mean, this is a bigger watch. This is a big boy. I think this is like an old man's Grand Seiko, and that's what I love about it. You know, I actually quite like the date window on this one, whereas I don't like the date window on this one. But yeah, this system, in looking into these Grand Seikos, I hope you will feel that actually is quite interesting. There's a lot of you guys out there that are wearing, so you've got Grand Seiko, you've got the Tissot Gentleman, or any watch with a butterfly clasp. There's so many people that are wearing watches that are not, that could be sized better for them. Ultimately, you know, I'll say it again, it needs some micro adjust. There are watches that have micro adjust, like I think I did a video on it on the Tudor, any Tudor with a riveted bracelet, basically. They have micro adjust, but the micro adjust is exactly the same as one full link. They don't have part links. So it kind of defeats the object. There's so many people that cannot get a Tudor Black Bay with a riveted bracelet to fit them, even though it has micro adjust. I'm one of them. They don't fit me. You know, it's either too big or too small. The simple solution would be for Tudor to do a part link. I think you can get an aftermarket part link for it. And the reason that they have such few micro adjusts on the clasp is because of those fake rivets, rather. I'm not going to like dress them up as faux. They're fake rivets. That's what they are. Is because they can't put more micro adjust on the clasp because the fake rivets there, it would stop the bracelet going in further to the clasp because it hits the clasp. I think I did a video on it, so maybe look at that if you want to. But yeah, so this as I said, I would revisit my Grand Seiko to see if I could get it to fit me better. Now, I've got the issue that my wrist is swollen, but yeah, I mean, I've got two options with this. As I've already said, I either pop the half link back in, which would make it 6 mil bigger. I think that's going to make it too big and it's going to wobble around too much. But just the fact that I've got a 3 mil option that people just really don't know about. Shops do not know about this, trust me. Shops never, ever, to do supersizing, you kind of do need to measure the links, really, I think, to get the increments. But it doesn't matter if just the fact that there's a part link and a full link means that you've got these other options. But shops don't do that. Shops look at watches as full links and half links. They don't look at the concept of, so what I've got to do with this, if I want this to fit me, I think, is I've got to buy another full link, which shame I don't have it. Pop this half link out, put another full link out, and this watch is then 3 mil bigger. If I went into a shop, as I said with this one, all they'd do is say, well, your only option is to put, if I went into a shop with this, with my half link that I've got, and I've said, this is too tight for me, what can I do? I think 99% of shops would say, the only thing you can do, sir, is to put that half link back in. I don't think any shop would say, well, what you need to do is to buy a full link, put that in and take the other half link out, and then your watch is 3 mil bigger than it is now, and that's going to fit you perfectly. I mean, I can check that really. I can get a watch that has, I wouldn't use this one, but because it's not pin micro, I don't know what those micro adjust positions are. I suppose I could measure them, but if you had a watch, I haven't got one handy, but if you had a watch with the standard non-toolless micro adjust that has the pinholes in, you can measure the distance between those. So I could possibly find one and put it to a position where it's as tight as this is, and then I could see, do I need to move it by 3 mil or 6 mil? And that would tell me whether it would save me the hassle of taking these Grand Seiko links are an absolute biatch to take out. This one's not too bad actually because the screws are quite big, but if you look at that one in comparison, those screws are tiny. They are a pain. It's such a it's just another thing that Grand Seiko need to improve on their bracelets. Just copy Rolex. Let's not beat around the bush. Copy Rolex. Have one pin that goes all the way through with a massive screw on the end that you can get that doesn't chew up when you undo it. You know, this Omega isn't too bad. You know, they've got quite decent screws. I think they're machined better on here as well. They just look, I don't know if you can catch that in the light as I can. They just look better machined. They just look like better. Oh, the AD chewed that up a bit, didn't he? Yeah, well, I hope that was useful. Oh, interestingly, you know, I mentioned the one last thing. You know, I mentioned that Grand Seiko have the bracelet diameters on their website. I actually measured this one. It's where we go. This one, I did a rough measurement of everything, and I came up with way over 205. I think that's because what measurement they're giving you is obviously the internal measurement, whereas I measured the actual central line measurement of everything, which made it bigger. But interestingly, so on this one, there's 17 mil of links. Sorry, this one, there's 17 mil of links taken out. On this one, there's 6 mil of links taken out. Yeah, and that kind of confirms. So this one is 205 mil from factory. This one is 190 mil from factory. So that's when I realised that I haven't actually lost a link. Now, if you take away the links that have come out of both these watches from the stated circumference from the manufacturer, that makes this one 188 mil currently, and this one 184 mil currently, and that kind of tallies up because, as I've already said, this one isn't too, that's quite a nice fit. You know, that's not, let's slow this down because I know people, when I get devil hands, I get told off. This one actually, you know, it fits fine, you know. And this one is, as I've already said, is too tight. That feels uncomfortably tight on my wrist. I can feel it, you know, pulling in on my wrist, and that's because this is apparently now 184 mil circumference, and this is now 188. So 1 micro, actually 2 or nearly 2 micro adjust positions bigger on this one if it did have micro adjust, which annoyingly Grand Seiko don't. That's you know great to Grand Seiko for putting that information on the website, for telling you the it would be nice if they told you the supersizing of their watches. I might mention that when I go to see the AD. I'm actually going to a GS9. I'm going to a GS9 event tomorrow. I might mention, I'm not even might, I will mention it to them. You know, why don't they put, you know, the fact that they don't have micro adjust, why don't they put all the bracelet positions on there? At least then their customers can get their watches to fit as well as they can. And like this one only fits me if I'm happy to buy another link. So it's eye-opening. I hope you've massively long video. Probably no one will make it to the end of that. But it was something that needed doing. I said I would come back with my Grand Seiko supersizing, as I've now called it. And I have. Let me know in the comments below what you think of that, if you made it to the end, even if you didn't. Well, if you didn't, you're not going to see me say leave comments below. But yeah, I hope that was useful. I think it is a definite benefit to the watch world for people to take the measurements and come up. See, on this one, as I didn't do before, I've actually put what that means. You know what? So if this is to, you know, you can look to that and say, right, what I need to do is to put this link back in and take that link out. But yeah, loads of people aren't doing that. Hope this has been helpful. If this video means that you've got your watch to fit you better, please let me know in the comments below. It would mean an incredible amount to me. But for now, one wrist, live it.